This is a hot recording day. SpaceX lists today on NASDAQ. Gold has been volatile, correction from all-time highs. We have oil swinging 5% in sessions and Iran deal headlines. Like Trump has been saying that we have a deal. We're getting everything we want. We have a deal. It's the best deal ever.
We've got a deal.
Cancelled the airstrikes. Bitcoin is collapsing and it's all relevant and it's all happening right now.
It is a hot recording day. The markets are bleeding. They have been bleeding all week.
Yes.
So I feel like it's going to be a very interesting conversation.
It is going to be interesting. The markets had a bit of a recovery bounce yesterday, and so did the metals. The metals have been bleeding quite tremendously, but
long sip from the pink monster.
The pink monster. We are a girly club today.
I feel like I had something to do with that. I should put influencer in my bio.
You are an influencer because that thing looked delicious.
The first rule in investment is don't lose. And the second rule in investment is don't forget the first rule.
The Federal Open Market Committee's overarching focus right now is to bring inflation back down to our 2%.
You're offering us a chance to short this pile of blocks.
The most obnoxious group of money-hungry.
Indeed, the global economy is at a delicate moment.
So welcome to Clawback. Today is Friday, the 12th of June, and this might be the most eventful market day in history because the biggest IPO that we've ever seen has dropped. Valuation of $2 trillion up to $1.7 trillion, which is more than double what the current record holder Aramco was at 29 billion.
So people, I want to make sure you got that. SpaceX is the largest IPO in stock market history. But Mateen, before we get into the nitty gritty, let's have a bit of an opinion piece from you. What do you think about the priced in figures?
Like, what are people buying when they're buying? Is it just on the hype? So what we have is a company that has the most satellites in orbit, low Earth orbit. They have most of the satellites that are up there. They are providing internet across the globe, and it's a really good business and consumer case. That business model is pretty solid. They are going to be going to space, taking people. I don't know from a profitability side, the only way that's profitable is if he harvests an asteroid. Because what is the valuation going to be when he harvests an asteroid? Because he's probably going to be the first one to do that, and then he gets gold. What are the prices of gold and silver and diamonds? What's that going to look like?
But on that note, Starlink is available on all Emirates flights.
Yeah, exactly.
So Wi-Fi is free for everyone now.
Yeah, Wi-Fi. It's not a thing of physical connectivity fiber anymore. Now it's satellite based. They've got so many satellites in space, and
you don't have to pay an arm and a leg for
Starship.
it on a flight.
Exactly. So Starship is one of their biggest assets right now. That is a rocket that can be reused, which adds so much. It's a very technical thing to get right, but once it does go right, it basically allows SpaceX to send components and people. Send a bunch of stuff into space and be able to use the rocket. So they're talking about data centers in space. They're talking about
XAI. That's what he's calling it.
That's XAI thing. Then there's also a possibility of Elon crashing Tesla and SpaceX into one stock. And the valuation of that, the upside is ridiculous because those are two of the most leading stocks at the moment. So there's a lot to consider when it comes to SpaceX as a company. It's like the first of its kind. It's doing all kinds of things. Like I said about the harvesting an asteroid, no other company is as close as they are to harvesting an asteroid. I feel like that's just something big to consider that other people aren't talking about.
Okay, fine. Elon Musk is very real. Tesla is very real. And his success there are very real.
Yeah.
The satellites are real. The rocket business is real, but it is burning cash.
Yeah.
It's burning cash while they try and fix that reusable aspect of it. And the XAI division lost $6 billion last year. So I ask you again, is the SpaceX IPO overpriced because of hype and because of star power? Star power, the branding PR machine that is Elon Musk?
Yeah.
Or what's going on here?
There's 30% of SpaceX's IPO that is on the money and is in line with its business practices. And then there's 70, oh, did I say 30? Yeah. Then 70% is on speculation,
Okay.
is on buying the dream, buying on fundamentals, the star power of Elon Musk. But there is something to be said about the fact that once they do this, they can raise capital, tremendous amounts of capital. They even changed the rules. People can buy into IPOs at a much lower rate than before. So, and also now it's going to be listed on the NASDAQ, which used to be a rigorous process, which means that once they're listed, then everyone who's investing in the NASDAQ, that's retirement funds, savings accounts, private portfolios, are essentially buying into SpaceX without buying into SpaceX.
Sure.
So all of the capital raised from all of that is going to funnel into SpaceX. They've got tons of capital that'll come out of this. What they're going to do with that, hopefully, is not burn through it all and return something. So we'd have to see what their first earnings is going to be like.
Are you buying? Are you buying today, Mateen?
Yes. My philosophy is always just buy.
Buy now.
Because, like, what's the worst that can happen?
That's true.
Buy and hold.
Worst case, doesn't work out. Best case,
to the moon.
to the moon.
Literally to the moon.
But yes. So I'm playing devil's advocate here with the
let's
whole
do it.
SpaceX thing.
Sure.
With the whole SpaceX IPO. Because the bear case, let's look at it from a bearish perspective, right? That's 95 times the revenue for a company that is still in a net loss overall.
Yeah. And we were talking about this last week. 90 times. And I was saying that the AI companies are 40 times, or the chip stocks at 40 times their valuation. And that was crazy.
Exactly. In our episode coming next week on the AI IPOs, you'll see how we were talking about overpriced AI stocks.
Because their stock price to profit ratio was like...
Yes, it came in
compared to Walmart. Yeah, exactly.
Right? So that was
look on the other
times,
side.
And I'll look at Starlink, the Starlink IPO, SpaceX IPO, at 95 times.
95 times. But it's dealing with a different animal. It's got AI in it. It's got space. It's got Wi-Fi.
Facts, it's unprecidented.
It's unprecedented. That's the thing.
We're selling space. We're selling space on the bloody stock market.
Yeah, we're selling space on the stock market. And if you had to look at the price per share, $135 compared to $399 for Tesla. Yeah. It kind of feels like a bargain at an opening price. Infrastructure level, you've got Tesla, which is like a monolith, and SpaceX is about a quarter of that price, but its infrastructure is in a completely different vertical. So
I could eat my words here, right? On this podcast today. When earnings come out in November, I could eat my words, but I will go against the whole philosophy of girl math here and say, fine, you're getting it at $139 per share compared to $399 of Tesla. Yeah. So it's a bargain, right? It's a deal.
It's a deal.
I'm making
deal of a lifetime.
money. Okay, I didn't spend money. I made money. But are you going to make money at a 95 times overpriced company? Is this the deal of a lifetime, or is this a liquidity grab? Are you getting scammed? Is Elon Musk scamming us?
We'll only know after the fact, right? We'll only know once the dust settles and the earnings come out, and then people either feel burned or
balling.
But I get it though. Like nobody wants to feel left out of this thing. Everyone wants to feel like a part of this massive step in stock market history, in tech history.
We all look back. And we talk about, we are a bit young for it, but people look back and they talk about Kodak, they talk about Apple. we look back, we think about Bitcoin,
Yeah.
we think about Google, even Netflix, Nike. Okay, Nike is not doing good right now, so scratch that.
Yeah.
But we look at companies like that and we're like, damn, what were we doing instead of buying Bitcoin, playing
Yeah.
outside probably?
Exactly.
But now we have an opportunity to take control. And I'm still on the fence. And it's IPO day and I'm still on the fence.
Yeah. I mean, can we access this IPO via BOF Asset Management?
Well, you do have access to US stocks on BOF Asset Management, so you can buy it by NASDAQ.
Wow.
Okay, so Martine, on that note, and I don't know if I'm completely barking up the wrong tree here, but we saw a bloodbath in the market this week.
Bloodbath?
I would call it a bloodbath.
I've seen bloodbaths. There wasn't a bloodbath. That was like a little bit of a drip.
It was a bit of paper cut.
A little paper cut. That was a paper cut.
Okay, guys, reason why I'm saying bloodbath: gold, silver, Bitcoin. What else? We had multiple dips.
We had some dips this week. There was some fear in the market because of inflation.
Indeed.
Inflation is back with a violence, with a vengeance. So inflation printed 4%, which is the highest printing since 2022.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's got everyone a bit scared, and it's got people looking at the Fed if they're going to be hawkish. Because if Fed's going to be hawkish, tech is going to take a massive beating. But then we have SpaceX coming out at the right time and kind of saving the market. So it's this battle of two forces. So hawkish Fed versus SpaceX IPO. Whoever comes out on top, that's going to be determined by next week's price action.
We call that Star Wars.
Star Wars. Wow. That's so cool. Yes. Yeah.
Okay, fine. Was not a bloodbath.
In this case, the Fed is the Sith. The Fed is the Sith and Elon is a Jedi. That's how I look at it, because I've always hated the Fed. You know me and my opinions on them. But, let's see what they do. The Fed rate cut hopes are slowly dying, but does the market care enough about that, or do they care more about this IPO space stuff?
I guess we'll see.
I
guess we'll see. Do you think that the dips experienced in the market this week is because of the SpaceX IPO? Now, hear me out. Stay with me. Bitcoin is, let's put Bitcoin aside. Bitcoin is another story because the fear and greed index is currently in the extreme fear zone. The extreme fear zone is around 9 to 13 out of 100.
Yeah.
And last week it was around 32. So now we are in the extreme fear zone because Bitcoin is taking a bit of a crash, right?
Yeah.
A little bit of a crash.
Maybe a
Tiny bit of a crash.
Time to buy.
Exactly. Time to buy. Buy in the dip.
Buy the dip.
That's what we always say.
Always buy the dip.
Buy the dip. But if you look at gold and silver, now why did commodities have such a dip? Do you think people are taking their capital out of their safe haven assets to get ready for IPO day?
It's entirely possible because I feel like people don't want to miss out on IPO day, and there's a lot of FOMO happening at the moment. So yeah, they profit taking from their gold, silver index portfolios and keeping it aside for IPO day. Is that all of the move? I don't think so. I don't think the majority of the dip was because of that.
Fair.
Fed rate hike fear is back.
Okay.
Because of inflation. Then we also have that phenomenon of indices are way too high right now to be a buy. Gold was a little bit high, and then everyone started selling off, and that triggered more and more sell-off. And we have Iran as well, being a catalyst for everything, because oil contributes to inflation in such a large scale. So people's fear of oil contributing more and more to inflation means a more and more hawkish Fed, which is not good for stocks and not good for tech. However, I feel like this dip is going to recover pretty well by next week. That's my opinion. We've seen a little bit of a bottom forming on silver and gold at the moment. If oil continues to take a dive, then we'll see those rally. The gold, silver indexes will likely rally next week if this IPO goes well as well.
So a lot is riding on SpaceX IPO.
Yeah.
Including people's hopes and dreams. Please, guys, watch this episode before you buy.
Yes.
Just in case.
Just in case.
And I'll add but I don't know though, just in case you ruin your life. Okay, so back on the gold, just to recap for our listeners out there. The recent gold peak was around $5,500 per ounce. And gold today, on the 12th of June, is approximately $4,200 per ounce. So that's $1,300 odd dollars. From the top, it's roughly 20-something%.
Yes.
But gold is still up 23% year on year.
Yeah.
So if you want a long gold.
Long gold.
But do not short gold as a beginner. We said it last week. We'll say it again.
Metals are tough to short, especially with the macro analysis. If you had to take a step back and look at the bigger picture, we're making stuff. We need more stuff. We need more metals to make the stuff that we need, like data centers and satellites need gold. They need silver. So there's going to be a demand. Unless Elon goes and harvests an asteroid, then that's going to shake up the gold and silver market. But I don't think that's happening anytime soon. I just want to make a point about gold quick, just like on a practical level.
I love practicality. Tell me more.
When you think about gold as a metal, just understand that if you had to take all of the gold that we've mined in history and put it in one place, it would be a cube the size 22 meters by 22 meters by 22 meters. It's like a 7-story building. All of the gold that exists in the world right now.
That is insane.
That's how scarce gold is. Gold is scarce.
So gold really is
useful.
scarce, unlike diamonds.
Exactly. That's why at 4,500 Rand, or $4,500, sorry.
It's $4,200 today.
$4,200 today, gold is still a bargain, or still a buy. Not a bargain, but a buy. You are going to kick yourself when we're back at 5,500 and you didn't buy. And then you're going to get roped in and buy at the high, and then we'll have another pullback.
And then you'll lose money in the stock market, and then you'll go on social media or tell all your friends and family who'll listen that the stock market is a scam and trading is gambling, but you didn't do your homework.
You didn't do your homework first. You wanted to buy speculation over gold. I think the play, now I'm just riffing a little. The play is, if you are scared right now, don't trade on fear and don't trade on speculation. Maybe park the IPO trade, leave that, let it settle. If you want to go where the smart money is, look at gold and silver, buy those, because when everybody who's made their money and starts profit taking on the SpaceX IPO, they're going to come back to gold and silver and reinvest. So that's to the moon. To the moon.
On that note, while you're doing that, an interesting topic is diamonds. Diamonds is not the most precious stone on this earth.
So
and
common.
I come from the mining industry. I worked in the mining industry for 7 years, not Bitcoin mining.
What?
The actual mining. Yes, I'm actually an environmental scientist.
Are you a De Beers? Is Strata De Beers?
I have been to De Beers. I have been to De Beers mine.
Cool.
I had to do a police clearance and everything to enter that mine. Now, guys, this is so interesting to me because I'm coming from a marketing perspective. De Beers, back in the day, started the diamonds are girls' best friend. That's where it comes from. It's
a marketing campaign, yeah.
It's a marketing campaign. They marketed diamonds as the stone for the engagement ring and the wedding ring, and diamonds are forever and diamonds are a girl's best friend comes from all De Beers marketing campaigns. So this is just exactly what we talk about in narrative.
Yes.
Right?
Yes, speculation.
It's narrative and speculation. Diamonds are only that much expensive and only do so well because of the narrative that De Beers and nobody else pushed. De Beers has mined more diamonds than are currently in stores right now. They release a certain number into the market yearly to keep them rare.
Artificial scarcity.
Indeed. That's just a little tidbit about diamonds.
That's a fascinating tidbit about diamonds. Another thing that the lab-grown diamonds is heavily affecting Botswana's economy. A lot of the economy rides on diamond mining. And now with with the advent of lab-grown diamond and people's demand for lab-grown diamond, you can see how the De Beers, a lot of diamond portfolios are taking a massive knock there, which is a good thing because the diamond trade has always been bloody.
It's not ethically sourced.
Yeah.
So when
all
people say
diamonds.
lab-grown diamond, I'm always like, you mean ethically sourced diamond?
Yes, exactly.
Okay, interesting take, Mateen. I will take your advice into due consideration.
Let's talk about Bitcoin. You wanted to talk about Bitcoin.
I wanted to talk about Bitcoin indeed because we're talking a lot about my career today. So when I was a young warthog, haram. When I was young, my very first job while I was still studying my honors, I took this job to help pay my bills. I was working sales at an IT services provider. So I learned quite a bit about servers and chips, and everything I learned ever about tech is from there.
Okay.
So I realized how I knew nothing. I didn't even know how a Wi-Fi router worked, but I learned everything.
Who really
there.
does?
But that's the thing, and I had to sell these things. So I had to know the ins and outs. And one of the things that we used to get customers calling in that we made a gold mine on was Bitcoin rigs. Now, this was 2017.
Ooh, yeah.
So 2017, I made so much money in commission.
Oh, nice.
Because my monthly target was something like 3 million.
Hectic. In turnover or revenue?
Yeah, it was 3 mil at your, am I allowed to say this?
Yes.
It was 3 mil. He's like, yes, tell us more. It was 3 mil at a 12% GP.
Ooh.
As long as I hit those targets.
Yes.
It didn't matter if I sold to 2 clients or to 5 million clients. As long as I hit my target with my 12% GP, I got a nice commie on that.
Nice.
So people called in for Bitcoin rigs. They were the cooling towers, the fans, the lights for the inside, the actual racks. People building massive rigs to mine Bitcoins, and they were mining like a portion of a Bitcoin at a time, not a Bitcoin at a time.
Yeah.
Running these computers the whole day. So
if they had the lights, they get a better yield.
So
Science.
at that time, I wish I'd taken interest in the stock market.
Yeah.
And I could have bought Bitcoin then. And not sitting at where it is sitting today. But again, like I said, Bitcoin has been falling for days now. And the fear and greed index, which is something that crypto is priced on in the market, is sitting at extreme fear between 9 and 13 out of 100 because Bitcoin is just falling. So Mateen, earlier on, you said this is a buying time. How do we know it's not going to crash completely? Because I want to say this, that Bitcoin wants to be what gold is digitally.
Fair. Yes, true.
But it just can't be that way. I don't need Bitcoin for anything. It's a cryptocurrency. I need gold to build things, not just to wear.
Yes. Bitcoin needs to find some form of stability once people start using it for transacting. Mm-hmm. I've seen people start to offer that you can transact in Bitcoin at a lot of stores, like we talked about Pick and Pay.
True.
So once you can use Bitcoin as a transacting currency, it starts stabilizing. But for that to happen, you also need people to move away from fiat currency to some extent, which I feel is a safer move because you're not going to print more Bitcoin and it's not being affected by bank runs. If you had a bank run today, your money in your bank account doesn't really exist. But if you had Bitcoin, it's completely on a blockchain. So there's no interference. There's no shutdown.
It's interesting what you said, Mateen. And okay, I sort of take my aggressive stance on Bitcoin, demoralizing Bitcoin. I take it back because you're right. In Dubai, some automotive dealerships. Why did I say it like that? Some
car dealerships.
Why did I say that? Some car dealerships are now accepting Bitcoin and crypto as payments. And an interesting topic is BOF Pay, which is a payment provider from our group of companies, takes transactions in Bitcoin and fiat. So you can pay from fiat to crypto, crypto to fiat, instantly anywhere in the world. So we're getting on that train. Maybe the rest of the world is going to get on that train as well, as more places start to accept crypto as payment.
Yes.
And you're going to see Bitcoin go up again. But before you carry on, I just want to let everybody know Bitcoin hit its all-time high at $126,000 last year, October.
Yes.
Bitcoin this week is approximately around $61,000. So that's a 51% drawdown from its all-time high.
Goodness.
Martine, tell us
Oh.
more.
Yeah. I mean, that doesn't make the case for Bitcoin stability or as a stable coin very strong. But it's still early doors for Bitcoin as a currency. I mean, US dollar, pound had many, many decades to figure it out. Bitcoin just needs to have that up, down, until we find a happy medium. The way the stock market works and the way Bitcoin's price works is you'll drop until you find buyers. So we are not finding buyers at $110,000, not finding buyers at 100,000 buyers, and it will keep dropping until we find buyers. But then we found some buyers, and then we had a little bit of a pop. As long as that keeps happening, Bitcoin is going to be okay. I know that it's a massive drawdown, but like you, it's being affected by the fact that this IPO is coming out. People want exit; they want liquidity on the side. Then the fear and greed index also, it's a self-fulfilling prophecy. So people look at that and they start selling.
Yes. That's a good comment because, the fear and greed index is only so high because people are looking at it and buying into it. Likewise, when people buy on the low and raise the stock price, it's raising because you're buying.
Because you're buying, you're affecting things. Exactly.
Is that how people hedge markets?
It's not a leading indicator, it's a lagging indicator. So when people start selling at extreme fear, the worry is that you're starting to sell near the bottom. But that's, speculative. There's been crashes that have just gone on and on and on.
Bitcoin has crashed many times.
Many, many times.
Many times.
And whoever scoops up the dip is usually fine afterwards.
This could be a hedge, a grab from the market. And you know why I say that? Michael Saylor's company sold 32 Bitcoins last week. It sounds tiny.
Yeah.
But it's symbolically enormous in the crypto world. Michael Saylor has been the loudest institutional Bitcoin bull on earth. And last week he sells 32. So it tells you something about where we are in the cycle. And it's also like, what are we missing? That this guy is selling his Bitcoins. It's like me selling all my Barbies.
How many Barbies do you have?
I have 32 Barbies in mint condition.
Wow.
Indeed.
And they're not the Fed can't print more Barbies. So I feel like the Barbies are stronger than the dollar.
Well, you know what? I'm saving them for a rainy day because nobody's playing with them.
Nobody's playing with them. So Bitcoin, that's a huge knock to the Bitcoin market is the biggest bull starts selling. Like when Charlie Munger starts selling stocks, or did, because he's dead now, but or Warren Buffett. I think that's also with all asset classes, they go in cycles. So he's just being clever about the fact that we're close to a top. He's going to sell and then he's going to buy up again. It feels like a smart thing to do.
So that's what I said. I said, is this sort of a liquidity grab or a hedge in the market from the people in the know?
Yeah.
Because we don't know.
We don't know. This is the thing. Retail traders have to just kind of guess. And hold. Buy and hold.
Make educated guesses.
Make educated
guesses after watching the Clawback podcast.
Yes.
And reading your market updates on BOF Asset Management and with me, the Finance Barbie. Trade on our platform. And I want to say hope for success. However, you should be successful if you did your homework.
Plan for success and will it into existence.
Manifestation.
If all else fails, pray really hard. Pray. Because God will make the stock market go your way if you pray more than the person on the other end of the trade. Because there's always somebody on the other side of a trade. Just remember that. When you lose, somebody else is winning. And when you win, somebody else is losing.
Or what if someone else prays harder, Martine?
That's the thing. That's why you have to pray extra in case they're praying extra.
We spoke about gold. We spoke about SpaceX IPO. We spoke about oil. A lot of what happened in the markets this week. Can you just close off and give our listeners a carrot?
Thank you very much for joining me today, Estrada. This is a big day in the market, the biggest IPO we've ever seen. Don't just follow the crowd. Try and do your own analysis. Sometimes you'll be lucky if you just follow the crowd. Sometimes you'll be very unlucky. Do your analysis. Believe in what you want to trade. Believe in your plan. And as always, trade with BOF Asset Management.
Thank you for having me here today, Mateen. In closing, guys, whether you're trading US stocks, indices, commodities, or crypto-linked assets, the lesson today is the same as any other day on Clawback. Headlines create movement, so do your homework. Structure creates trades, so trade on BOF Asset Management.